Okay, we are here in quite possibly my favorite place in the entire planet, Denali National Park in Alaska. I came here about 20 years ago with my whole family, and we took, the bus, and saw amazing wildlife, and it was such an important trip to me. To come back here about 20 years later with my girlfriend who's in the bathroom, going to the backcountry is pretty exciting. All right. We have officially hit the trail.
Wow.
It's Maggie's favorite part when I say that, or least favorite. We are expecting some weather tonight. I think it's supposed to be raining already. I think it's definitely supposed to rain second half of the day. We got to get down to either first, second, or third lake. I'm not sure what they call them. What? Always making comments in the back. Usually very sarcastic, making fun of me. Last time we were bickering like this on a different video, I ran into a bear. Alright, so we were off. Triple Lakes Trail, this way. I think that behind me is the bridge for the train that I took about 20 years ago all through Alaska. It was incredible. Glass ceilings and everything. Nice. So here in Unit 1, it is absolutely spectacular moose habitat. The best that I've ever experienced. I mean, we've probably already on this trip seen about 20 moose, and we're up in Alaska for about 10 days doing all different trips. Seen a lot of moose. Almost all of them right here in the first 15 miles of the park road, which Unit 1 lies within. And it's also the moose rut right now. So beginning of September, we've seen a couple big bulls, so definitely want to keep your distance. Those guys' hormones are flying right now, and you'll see them just crashing their antlers into trees, just ready to mess a couple sweet people like us up. So maybe we'll see a moose. There's some switchbacks. Maggie's favorite.
What?
It's a video.
Oh, come on.
That's going in. So this trail has actually turned into a little bit of an unexpected surprise where we're way up on a ridge almost, and actually I can see the Alaskan range out there. I mean, we're surrounded by mountains. I thought this was mostly just gonna be forested. I don't know if it comes out in the GoPro, but the Alaskan range is way in the back, emerging from the clouds. And then on this side of the trail, we got more mountains. Fall colors and Maggie. So we got this whole area to ourselves. It's how quiet it is. You scared. My heart stopped. I want to tumble down the hill to my death. So I think we have decided to make this a through hike. Maggie's idea, just in case it goes horribly wrong. But instead of hiking all the way back, doing all that elevation again, it's probably easier to just do this as a through hike if we just hike most of the way today and then have only a few miles to hike out tomorrow and just spend a long time hitchhiking on the park's highway back to the visitor center where we have to catch a bus. Right now that sounds a little more appealing and adventurous than going back the other way. Look at this, more moose scat. It's everywhere. Here we go, we found our lake. Let's go down there and find a spot. What do you think? Set it up right here in the grass?
I guess so.
I think we gotta find a water source other than this lake.
It's too still.
Alright, I really don't like that I have to do this. I was looking for running water of some sort and there's nothing. This is just a very still, like, moose marsh. So I gotta get the water out of here. Hopefully the filter does its thing because it's gonna need to. You know, moose and other animals, they'll piss right here in the mud and the water, and it's just so still. That is kind of, you'd rather moving water. But I looked around, there's really no choice. So, pretty sure this water's green. Maybe setting up the tent, trying to figure out where to put it. Immediately tempted to put it down there in the grass, but it's really, really soft when you step on it. You sink down. It's supposed to rain tonight. All that water is going to go down into that area. It's really probably going to get muddy. Here's what I mean with this little grassy area that's so tempting to camp in. When you step down, it really sinks. That's the ground, that's not the grass. It's the ground underneath it. So obviously, since we're in Denali, this is prime grizzly habitat. Unit 1, which is where we are, they're not seen as often. It's more black bears, and the grizzlies are more out in the open space. But this is Denali, this is Alaska, and grizzlies are seen in here. The signs at the front of the trail. I even read that if grizzlies are in this area, it's because they're hunting moose calves, which is kind of scary that they'd be on the offensive. So Denali requires you to be 300 yards from any grizzly. That's different from the lower 48, Maggie's least favorite term. Where Yellowstone and Glacier, it's 100 yards. Here's 300 yards. That's barely visible. They say if you can tell that it's a bear, then you're too close. However, we're camping and anything could come up to the tent. So we had to go through a whole speech, and we had to watch a half-hour video what to do if a bear comes. And then you have to create a triangle where you camp, and then 100 yards away is where you eat, 100 yards away is where you store your food. There's no bathrooms out here, so hopefully I can hold it. Alright. There's a ton of planes going overhead, flight seeing planes, I think. Kind of feel like that little boy from Hatchet out here. Those wasn't that a plane crash?
Yeah.
Whatever his name was. Look is amazing. I felt like I'm in Hatchet this entire time in Alaska, even though he's in Canada. Alright, so we have found a spot to eat. It's not the best. It's kind of jammed in here in the middle of the woods. I still can't get over the fact that there's caribou here. I was just telling Maggie, if you're backpacking, you're camping in an area that has caribou, it means you're in a wild place. It's pretty cool. Wolves too. I just said that word for word. Maggie's probably annoyed. But then I was I should have filmed that. Maggie's cooking tonight. I know I said I would cook, but Maggie's cooking. What the hell is that? Is it a bag of nuts?
I have no idea. It's really complicated in here.
These are our water bottles, by the way. I put those tablets in here. It's got to sit for a half hour. That's what sucks about it. So, well, at least you don't die. So yeah, I think we will end up doing just a through hike of the Triple Lakes Trail instead of going back all the way. We're just gonna do a few more miles tomorrow and end up at the Park Road, or not the Park Road actually, the Parks Highway, which is not in Denali, and hitchhike, and I think we gotta go 6 miles back to the visitor center, and then we're gonna have to catch a 2 o'clock bus for the kind of part 2 of this video, if it is a 2-part video, where we're going to be staying in Unit 7. We're in Unit 1 right now. The whole park is divided up into units. I don't know, it might be 50 units or something.
But the park itself is like the size of Vermont, so it's ridiculous. So yeah, this is the only backcountry unit in the park that actually has a trail with kind of designated campsites. They're not run by the park at all, but like where we're staying here and a couple other spots, they're clearly campsites, and there's a trail for it. But other than that, it's all just, you just get off the bus because they don't allow cars past mile 15, so the buses can go to like 90, and you hop off the bus wherever your unit is, wherever you're designated for, and you can just go. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. Yeah, but with the units, they're crazy. Oh boy.
These units, they're crazy.
The end.
I'm excited.
We might get a moose here tonight. And if you look here, there's like a game trail that runs along. It's just prints. There's prints all through here. We're camped back there, but there's also prints. Wow, look at that sky. And I mean, this area, Unit 1, is in the best moose habitat. Caribou too, we were just told. Caribou too. And wolves. Oh my god. If I hear a wolf howl tonight, I will scream like a schoolgirl. Or cry. That would be amazing. I gotta tell you, Triple Lakes Trail is absolutely gorgeous. Fall colors. I thought it was kind of more of like a forested walk and you get to lakes and go over some hills, but I think it's like 1,100 feet of elevation gain. I just found out that, you know, you kind of go up and you're on like a ridge and you have views all around you. And that was amazing. And then we had animal tracks the whole way. Moose. I know for sure moose. I know everything about moose. Okay, so there's the bear keg kind of underneath that log wedged in. Ursack is back that way. Can't see it, it's too dark. 100 yards from camp. Hopefully everything's still there tomorrow. Alright, so I think that is going to be it for this one night here on Second Lake. Tomorrow we're staying in Denali and we're going to Unit 7. I think that'll be a separate video. I don't know if you can hear that. But we just heard some strange sound in the back of the tent. Never heard that before. Maybe it's a bird. But yeah, unless something happens tonight, which it might. We might get an animal in this area. Who knows? You can see some blue sky. Maybe we'll even see the northern lights. We're going to sit here for a while, but since I can't really film things on the GoPro when it gets too dark, this will probably be it, and see you in the morning. Alright, good morning. It's a peaceful night. I'm going to make some coffee. I'm going to get out of here. We survived. Always better in the woods.
Alright, we were all packed up.
Oh, I've been wanting to get that on camera. Maggie's figured out a way to get her things without actually bending down.
This one's a tough one.
There you go. This is the best campsite ever.
Amazing.
Leaving Lake 2 in our campsite. Back to the main trail. Where we're gonna come up on the third lake.
So that was a completely quiet night.
Whenever I think I'm gonna have the worst night's sleep in grizzly country or whatever, I tend to get great sleep. I think I got like 8 hours. Maggie struggled. She struggled.
You woke me up with your snoring.
Not a big snorer, so that's because we slept upside down. All right, we were on a hill, and our heads were on the wrong end. says, please respect them.
Or else.
So they built that right here, this mound. Maybe they're off right now.
Hard at work.
Okay, so we kind of broke out to the other side. I think that's the Nenana River down there. The ptarmigan back on that branch. Perfect camouflage. I don't know, maybe it's a pheasant. Scared me. Flew away, he was right here. There's no way that's gonna come out on camera. Great camouflage. See the road? I mean, this river has so much water moving through it. And, you know, it's the time of year where things are dried up. All right, we finished the trail. Now, gonna hike over to this lodge. We gotta cross this bridge here and see if there's a shuttle. Either way, I'm interested in the lodge because I think it might be the same one where I stayed 20 years ago. And my dad and I ran into a grizzly, and it was one of the most memorable moments of my life. So if that's the lodge, that'd be interesting. And if they don't have shuttles, we'll hitchhike. This is pretty cool.
I don't think that's the lodge I stayed in.
But it's a nice lodge. The problem is Maggie, she looks like a murderer. We got a ride.
Thank you.
Two nice guys. Didn't even consider murdering us. Or maybe they did.
So, say something before I forget everything about him. Vermont, something about Vermont. They both live south of here in Alaska, and
One of them said brilliant.
I didn't hear the word brilliant once.
That's brilliant.
really? Brilliant.
Not with a British accent.
One of the guys almost became one of those dudes selling Christmas trees on the street in New York City. That's pretty exciting. He actually looked the part. I think he would have been great.
Here we are. Cars over here. Right, we're back in the car. That's it for the Triple Lakes Trail. And that was absolutely incredible. Way better than I was expecting. And I was expecting big things. Underrated trail, the only basically backpacking trail in Denali. Strongly recommend it, especially around autumn. Colors were nuts. Stayed at Lake 2 where it was just gorgeous. Wildlife tracks everywhere. Maggie, what do you think?
That's good.
Is that it?
No, I got distracted with something else. It was wonderful.
Never know what she's gonna say. All right, so part 2 coming up. But that's it for Unit 1 in Denali. Amazing.